Good evening, everyone. It's me again, Al Brown Spencer. Well, today is Saturday, the 14th of March, 2026, and it is 10 o'clock in the evening. I am still here in San Sebastian, and the situation is still the same. And the abuse here has not stopped whatsoever. And they have increased the abuse to unbearable at the moment. Uh, Yesterday, for example, I ate some food that I got from the shop, and that literally killed my libido and my erection completely. And not only this, that caused me more troubles and indignifying stuff and all of this without going into the details. Uh, 3 days ago or 4 days ago, the seal that I put on the van's door was tampered with or filled with, which shows that probably someone either opened the van and got in, or slid the door and did something. Whatever happened, that means that because they have a key and they can get in the van and so on. And suddenly, after I found out that someone tempered or fiddled with the seals, uh, some kind of weird insects started to appear in the van. There was already insects in the van, like bed bugs and insects that eat my clothes and so on. And since I arrived here, I have been asking everyone everywhere to help me to find where I can get, stuff to against these bugs, or if they bite for me and so on. And of course, as usual, blackout, and maybe just once someone bought me mosquito spray and some tablets for clothes. I mean, to keep the bugs for the clothing away. And yesterday, someone bought me spray for the insects, which I sprayed everywhere, but it didn't kill the insects. This kind of insects, the new one, I mean, bed bugs and all of this has been here, and they have been eating me alive and eating my clothes and all of this. But this kind of new bugs, I have no doubt that there is a big chance that someone actually put them in my van, because these bugs are very, very small. They fly and they go everywhere. I mean, since the door, I found that the seal of the door was done. These bugs, which I was surprised, because the bed bugs, when I go in bed, they start to bite me and so on, and then I use like a big lighter to literally go all over the bed with the lighter to kill them and so on, and then spray chemicals, like cleaning chemicals and glass cleaner, blah blah blah, and all of this, which literally keep them away from me for at least for the night until I wake up or early morning. And when they start again, I do this again. But these bugs are very hard to, I mean, the new kind of bugs that just appeared in the van after the seal of the door was fiddled with. These bugs, very, very tiny, you cannot even see them, and they go everywhere. I mean, I did all what I can, and I sprayed the whole. This is a whole one that someone bought me yesterday. I sprayed all of this into, like first half of it, and then after half an hour, I did the other half here in the van everywhere, and this did not stop or kill these bugs or all of them. And these bugs, when I go to sleep, when I sleep, I cannot help it. I need to sleep. And they go in my nose and come out. And I can feel them, wandering in my nose and then back out again and in my ear. And then yesterday and today, they've gone into my eyelid. They stick to my eyebrows. And they stick to my eyelashes. And when I wash my face, they run and go inside my eye, in the eyelid, and they have like a barb that literally stings me inside my eye. And I have used, I'll just show you. And I have used this glass, which I put soap in it, and literally I dip my eye completely in it. And I managed to kill one of them in this eye, or two of them, but they are still inside the eye, and it's like they feel like a grain of sand that is grinding, or I mean like very rough every time I move my eye. But they are dead finally. Like I kept on using this until they died. And this one, there is one there, but it's not gonna die. I tried many times and it's still alive, and I can feel it moving inside and all of this. And I tried my best with this, but no, this one I managed to kill the ones here in my right eye, but this one in my left eye is still there and still alive, and I feel it. It's moving around and all of this. So this kind of insect is new, and as I said, I have no doubt that there is a big, big, big chance that someone actually put these bugs here in the van. As I said, the bed bugs and the bugs that eat the clothes were there already, and I have been dealing with this with, as I said, like glass cleaner, which seems to be, keep them away from the bed when I sprayed day after burning around, or burning the surface with a lighter and so on. Uh, yeah, and I don't know what to say. I mean, if this is actually, like, as I believe what is the case, that someone put these bugs here, I mean, this person or these people who put these bugs in my van, I don't know what to say. I mean, it's a crime. These bugs are harming me so badly, and I don't know what else they can do. They are in my eyes, in my ears, in my nose. It's unbelievable. And if someone put these bugs in my van deliberately, seriously, this person or whoever planned for this, the idea and the one who did it and all of this, all of them, they must go to prison. This is a crime, and they must go to prison. As simple as that. And there is no negotiation over this. There is no forgiveness. There is no forgiveness. This is not a joke. This is not a laugh. I am being abused and tortured every single day in this context. Even when I was in Germany, opening the van and giving me drugs, it's unbelievable. I mean, these people gave themselves the green light to do with me whatever they want, and in the end, they either claim it's under the mental health whatever, or testing my temperament or whatever, and so on, which they don't have the right to do this anyway. uh, I don't know what else to say about this, apart from the fact, some people like this, they don't deserve to live with people. Sometimes people, they think that this is, they can do things like that, for the sake of finding out if someone is sane or not. Well, let's do this. This is not correct. They are just giving themselves the excuse to do whatever they want to me. I mean, they have been dosing me with drugs that literally spoils my metabolism and keeps me, as you say, with swollen face and all of this and body, and literally, whether I eat or not, I'm not losing weight. And there is a reason I know for sure, that when I was in the UK, they used to dose me with lots of drugs to keep me overweight. Uh, they are trying to make it look like, it's a season wise. So this guy loses weight, or blah blah blah, in the summer because he doesn't speak, he doesn't eat lots because it's the summer, it's hot, and in the winter, blah blah blah. And of course, all of this bullshit, they are just calculating everything and giving me the dosing, according to the season and so on. In winter, they give me drugs that make me very hungry, blah blah blah, and all of this. And even if I don't eat much, I'm still not losing weight and so on. And in the summer, of course, they change it and so on. This is another reason I'm saying these people, they must go to prison. These people, they cannot be living with people. They do not deserve to live with people. As simple as that. These people must go to prison. And these people, they deserve one of two places, no third. Either they go to prison and legally punished for all the crimes they did against me. Even, putting bugs in the van, this is a crime and they must be punished. So they only deserve one of two things. Either they go to prison for the, legally punished for these crimes, or they die, they get killed. People like this, they do not deserve to live with people. And if for any reason you cannot put them in prison, they are powerful or whatever, they must die. People like this, they cannot live with people. They will do it again and again and again, and they will do lots of stuff against people, like what they have been doing to me. And of course, that applies on everyone participated in everything that was done to me, along 2 decades. Over 2 decades, they have been using and abusing and torturing me everywhere I go, and so on. The other thing that I want to say, that I will never give up on any investment money that was, invested for my father or me. Any money that was invested for my father, this is for the whole family. So my siblings and me and all of this. And of course, my sibling, any money that was invested for my father, they must say exactly what it is. And I can give you an idea about what they invested for my father and how and so on. And what you're going to hear now, this is the reality that my abusers are trying to cover up. And they put doubts around my mental capacity and all of this. They're trying to put things, in their pockets, basically. These bastards, this organization that was in the country where I was born, and it's worldwide, by the way, and no one will understand what is this organization unless you hear from me all the details, which I'm willing to give to the whole world, and it's up to you to believe or not. They killed twin daughters. I mean, my twin sisters that I have never seen because they were older than me, they were born before me, and so on. They killed them, and my father told me that they killed him when I was younger, and I never believed him. I thought the guy, you know, lost it because of losing his daughters. But now, or I mean for a while now, I understand, I know for sure he was not lying, he was not making this up, and he wasn't crazy. They actually killed his twin daughters, my twin sisters, even before I was born. And when they found out that they made a big mistake and so on, and by the way, the officers that were involved in what was done to the twin daughters of my father or my twin sisters, they lived at number 4, and this is not a coincidence. They lived at number 4 in the same street where I lived in the country where I was born, and they lived in apartments opposite each other. And anyway, so when they found out that they made a mistake, they literally decided to invest money for my father, and they were supposed to give it to my father in his life to enjoy it. But somehow someone planned to actually try to take this money, and that's why they postponed this, and they made up, no later, or someone of his kids and so on. And anyway, they started investing for my father in products for babies, like talcum powder, like cologne, like nappies, and all of this. They invested, widely in the country where I was born in products like this, after dedicating like a compensation for my father. And they invested this money for him. That was his money, like a compensation that they didn't declare, and they didn't give the money to my father. They invested it, and they invested in so many things like that. And the money grew bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And then they started to invest even abroad, in England, in Germany, in France, in the States, in many countries. And the reason they invested in many countries, because this organization has people everywhere. It's a worldwide organization which I'm trying to expose, and I will never stop until I expose them, who they are and what they have done in the world and all of this. And literally, they invested money in these countries. And again, this money is my father's money. Moreover, they have chosen one of his sons, myself, to actually in the future to make him into something, and and invest for him money, blah blah blah, again because of what they did to my father and killing his daughters. And they invested money for me even since I was a kid till now. And this money again grew like big, and all of and so on. And this money they invested in so many sectors and many things. And I am not joking or making this up, and I'm not deluded, and I'm not, paranoid about this or whatever when I tell you that this money are billions. I mean, hundreds of billions, if not a trillion. They invested for so many years. I mean, I don't know, like 6 decades or something like that, for this money. This money from my father, they invested it in many, many places. And these people, they understand and know everything in terms of what investment, where and when and how, and what is going to make money and what not. And also, what is going to be happening in the next 10 years and so on. Because they plan, they know every plan, the 5 years plan and the 10 years plan and all of this. And this money is my money and my father's money. And of course, my father's money, or the money that was invested for my father, is for my siblings and myself. And the money that was invested for me, this is for me. This is my money. And I will never give up on claiming this money, no matter what. And this money has got nothing to do with my compensations for what they have done to me, like all the use and abuse and torture and everything that they did to me and so on. And just to give you an example, one thing they did to me in the UK, if someone brings an evidence to these things, or one thing that they did to me, literally easily I can get few million pounds sterling for just one thing they did to me. Imagine all the things they did to me, like depriving me from my daughters, dosing me with drugs and spoiling my body and all of this and other lots of other things. What doesn't work in my favor, that not everyone would believe this. And add to this that when I was in the UK, they forged documents and they put me in prison. And from prison, they forged documents and they transferred me to a mental health hospital where they kept me for 8 months. And I didn't know anything, like in details like now. Things were made clear to me, and I got to know lots of things just in the last three years, or 3.5 years, or so, or 4 years. And it is unbelievable. And when people get to know the details and so on, they don't understand it, and even if they do understand it, most of them, they don't believe it. And I will never give up on this money, my money, and the money that was invested for my father and so on, and of course my compensations for everything that was done to me. And above all of this, I will never stop until I expose this organization everywhere in the world. This organization must be exposed everywhere in the world, and everyone in the world must know who are they and what they have been doing and all of this. And if you're watching this for the first time and you want to know what kind of organization and so on, if you know about the Illuminati or the Masons and the Scientologists and all of this, this organization is the mother organization, the one that literally created all of these small organizations to cover up for its existence. And even they created the mafia and many other things. So anything that happens in the world, again, it's vague, and people is misled, and people, they don't know who's responsible. Can they blame the Masons, the Illuminati, the Scientologists, or the mafia, or whoever? And I'm going to give all the information I have about this organization and what they have been doing and so on. Whether the people believe me or not, this is my duty to give this information to everyone in the world. I mean, this is something that I have to do. I mean, there is no way that I will stop. It's my duty. This is my duty in my life to expose this organization because no one should have this power anyway. Uh, as for what they are doing to me now is unbelievable. They have me in their hands like this. Mental health and dosing with drugs every single day, and it's unbelievable. And I have been living in a van for so long. It's not because it's my choice, because they are keeping me helpless, hopeless, no one to help me, and they are doing to me whatever they want. And for them, it's like they are like a big team, big one team. And they choose who's going to be to blame, who's going to be playing the good role and the bad role and so on. And one thing I want to make clear so everyone understands this. After I understood and got to know the details about all the situation and so on, I have always been saying, I don't want to be anywhere near Arabs, Muslims, North Africans, Middle Easterns, or fanatic religious people. These 5 kind of people, I don't want to be anywhere near them. And actually, like, they have been doing to me this unbelievable stuff recently. Like yesterday and all of this, and the insects and all of this. And at the same time, everywhere I go, like today, I went late to buy some stuff and some food and so on. And in one shop, someone with his phone speaking Arabic, just straight away before I went to the cashier, they stood behind me and started to speak Arabic. But thankfully, I have just paid and so on, and I went straight away. Uh, and many other situations and so on. And now what I would like to make clear is, if they have been abusing me and doing all of this to me to literally drive me very upset and very angry, which I am. However, what they do and getting Arabs and all of this everywhere around me. Now the question is, are they doing this to actually get me to do something wrong and then that's it? They smite? Or is it these people are trying to play the hero? Are trying to play that they are fixing. Look, we're going to prove to you, this guy, nothing wrong with him. We're doing to him all of this, and still, when there are Arabs around him, blah, 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 he just go. He doesn't offense. He just, leave. For me, it doesn't make any difference whether it's this case or this case. I will never feel any gratitude or even say thank you to any one of these 5 kind of people, no matter what, even if they are trying to fix what they did or trying to show that this guy is okay and nothing wrong with him and so on. After all what was done to me, this is my right. And if you think that this is harsh or blah blah blah, get to know the details first before you judge. So anyway, yeah, until the last second of my life, regardless of whatever is going to be the situation. So they are trying to play the hero. They are trying to play the hero, or they are trying to show, oh, we're trying to fix what was done, blah, 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 and take part in it, and so on. That is not going to change the fact that until the last second of my life, I don't want any Arabs or Muslims or North Africans or Middle Easterns or fanatic religious people anywhere near me. And when I have full control over my money, my companies and money and businesses and so on, I will never employ any one of these kind of people. And it's better that anyone knows about this from now to find another job. So people who will wait and stay in the job so they can file a case or whatever because I'm kicking them out and so on, trust me, that is not, that will be met with legal action as well and so on. So yeah, this is one thing that I needed to clarify and so on. The other thing that I needed to clarify is, I said it and I'm saying it and I will say it forever. If that makes any sense to anyone, or it's important to anyone, I don't want to go back to the UK ever. I don't want to go back to England and live in England. No, not for me. After all what was done, and anyone trying to make it look like it's otherwise, you're going to be disappointed, and maybe you're doing this deliberately to waste more of my time or resources. Anything that would be made in England for me is going to be a waste of time, because I am not going to go to England again. I'm not going to live in England again, ever. End of story. I don't want to even live over the soil or under the soil. Even when I die, I don't want to be buried there. End of story. Nothing is going to change this. It's the same like the country where I was born. End of story. So anyone trying to do anything like that, you're just, trying to benefit from it. Because, I will never go back to England or live in England at all again. End of story. Not for me, after all what was done to me and so on. And if the British government really, really regret what was done to me on their ground by their own authorities participating in what was done by other authorities, blah, 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 and all of this, what you can do is one thing. Just give me my compensations, my freedom, and so on, and leave me alone. And do not dare to accuse me of slagging you off or blah, blah, blah when I give all the information I have to the whole public everywhere in the world. This is my right. And you cannot take this from me. And I will. It's not like I'm just saying this now. I will. I will give all the information I have, not just about what was done to me, everything I know, to the whole world. Regardless of if that involves the UK, Germany, the country where I was born, other countries, it doesn't make any difference. I am giving all the details I have to the whole world. As simple as that. And another third thing that I would like to clarify. I don't want to stay in the Basque country at all. I mean, what has been done to me here, and the abuse and all of this, and being dosed every single day and so on, and psychologically being put to the test every single day and on the verge, like to the top, until I'm like, I don't know how to explain it. You are harming me badly. I mean, someone else could have a stroke, could, have problems from the anger and the upset, and you don't care. And they keep going on and on and on, until, but I find ways to calm myself down. I have been through this in England. I have been through this in Germany. And I was through this in the country where I was born. And I know how to calm myself down and how to distract myself from all of this shit. So anyway, yeah, for me, I will never give up on the money that was invested for me and the money that was invested for my father. This is my money, like this is my right. It's not anyone's right. And it's not a matter of what is enough for him. It doesn't work like this. The money that was invested for my father and me are, it's my money is my money. It doesn't matter what is enough for me or not. I mean, there are lots of, trillionaires and billionaires out there, and they don't need this money, all of this money. I mean, they can spend this money every day until they die, and still it's not going to end. But no one has the right to go and ask them, this is too much to what you actually need, or blah, blah, blah. So anyone out there trying to say, we're going to give him something, or this and that, my money is my money. Doesn't matter if it's too much or not. My money is my money. And I know it's it's big, 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 big money. So don't try to make it like what is enough for him. What is enough for him? It doesn't work like this. The money that was invested for my father is mine and my siblings and their families. And they must be giving this money directly, their shares directly. And I must get my share directly. And the money that was invested for me since I was even young kid is my money. And I must get full control over this money, whether assets or cash or money. It doesn't matter. What's mine is mine. And it's not a question of, what is enough for him? What's his dream? Blah, blah. My money is my money. It's not you to decide. if it's what is enough for me or whatever. My money is my money, as simple as that. And I will never give up claiming my money and the money that was invested for my father. As simple as that. Anyone who's watching this or watching my videos and they don't understand some stuff specifically, I'm trying to actually address some people's mind there. I mean, any psychiatrist or anyone who will try to play the mental health card because they don't understand or they don't believe what I'm saying and so on. Mental health and the Mental Health Act is a disaster. It's a disaster, and this is another thing this organization is using to suppress people and shut people up, or even killing people, or even burying them alive in mental health hospitals. The mental health, simply, if you're someone who harms people, you are mentally ill, because your mind cannot help you to understand that harming people is wrong. And apply this on governments, authorities, individual working for the authorities who kill every day, who harm, who destroys families, who harm people, who kill people, and so on. And yet no one refers to them as mentally ill because maybe they are allowed then. I mean, the mental health is different from a person to another, and so on. So yeah. And another thing, I mean, I don't believe in God myself, and anyone out there who doesn't believe in God like me will understand what I'm about to say now. I mean, people who believe in God, people who believe in the afterlife and that they will die and then they will be resurrected again after their bodies decompose and they become, dust and bones and so on. I mean, can't you see the delusion here? I mean, people who believe in God and believe in all of this shit, can't you see that this is impossible? That when you die, I mean, when you die, that's the end. There is no other life. You're not going to close your eyes and then open them again in another place. This is the end. And I'm trying to address the mind of people who actually can understand this. And they understand this and they know the reality. So another thing I'm trying to explain to you here, I mean, people who believe in God and religions, the Mental Health Act cannot point at them and say they are crazy. When priests and other people from the other religions and so on talk about the demons and the angels and the spirits and blah 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 and all of this. So why when I talk about genies and magic, people don't understand it? And when I start talking about the gene, which is a reality, and even if you don't believe it, this is a reality. I mean, if people who believe in religions and God and the afterlife can say that there is an afterlife and they will be resurrected after they be decomposed and become bones and dust, blah, 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 and all of this, and there is God and there is shit and heaven and hell and so on, and angels and demons and all of this, why when I say the reality about the situation, people don't understand it or say maybe this guy's crazy or whatever? But the reality is, genies do exist, and it's the only being that actually started all of these religion shit thing were genies. They are the ones who created the idea of God for us human beings long time ago. And that was for them to literally facilitate for them to exist and coexist with us and even use us. And everything being done, whether, harming us humans or making something good for us, always referred to either God, the demon, the angels, the devils, blah, 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 and all of this. But the reality is, genies are the ones behind all of this. There is no God, there is no heaven, there is no hell, there are no demons, there are no angels, no spirits. When you die, that's it, end of story. You will hear, feel, see, be aware of nothing. It's like darkness forever. It's like you went to sleep, but you will never get up. As simple as that. This is the reality. And genies are the ones who created the idea about that God exists. So they can communicate with people, manipulate people, do lots of things. And in the end, people will, attribute this to, it's God. It's when something happens to you good, oh, it's God, it's the angels. Or something bad happens, oh, it's the demon, it's the devils, and so on. But actually, they are genies. Genies are everything in terms of this context. And also, genies are magic. Genies are magic. They are the source of magic. They are the ones who can control people. They are the ones who can give you thought, bad ideas, and they can control you in many, 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 many ways. Genies can actually make you think that you are thinking for yourself. So, and I know lots of people out there, when they hear this, they might, uh, you know, it might literally trigger things in their mind and so on. But this is the reality. When you think in your mind, even deciding anything, buying something to eat or what you're going to do today or this and that, genies can control all of this. They can actually think for you, but actually they are not thinking for you. They are actually manipulating you, directing you, and you think that you are thinking for yourself. As simple as that. They can do this, and this is easy. The easiest thing that genies can do. And that's why when someone is under the spells or they use magic against, they are helpless, because you don't know what is your thought and what is not your thought. Is that your thought now, or someone else's thought, a genie or whatever? You don't know. And of course, people wouldn't believe this, because no one would believe. Even, the people who believe in religions, they say, okay, it's the demon whisper in your ear or whisper in your mind to do bad things. Angels tell you to do good things, blah, blah, blah. But they don't believe that it's actually genies. It's not demons. It's not angels. It's not God. It's no spirits. Nothing. It's just genies. Genies are the ones who are doing all of this. And that's why magic is so strong, because you don't know. Even when you're thinking for yourself, you don't know if that's you or not. And this, as I said, will make some people maybe confused and trigger something in your mind that, it's dangerous. It's unbelievable. I mean, like, how would you know that this is your thoughts, or, the genies are giving you these thoughts? But this is the reality. When genies target someone, whether, made a magic at them, or they do it, by themselves without magic and so on, no one can help you. They can control you. And this is what they try to cover up for their magic in the country where I was born, by creating something called the voodoo. And in Africa and so on, they say the voodoo, that, the doll, and they control you, blah, blah. And again, all of this bullshit to cover for the real thing, the magic that they have, because they use genies, and genies can control anyone. They can do lots and lots of things. And if you don't believe me, contact me and in person, and I will give you more information and explain to you everything I know about genies and how they do magic and so on. But this is the reality. I'm trying to make it clear to everyone. And the problem is, the country where I was born, they are the center for this cult, for this organization, which has one powerful weapon, even more powerful than any nuclear or whatever, and it is magic. They can control anyone. They can do whatever they want. They can prove whatever they want. They can achieve whatever they want with magic. And the problem that lots of people don't understand, and they don't know as well, uh, genies don't care about humanity or people or whatever. And people in this organization who believe that they are the masters of these genies, or they can summon the genies and do magic and order the genies to do this and that and that. Actually, genies are the masters who are pretending to be the slaves. So they are actually, as they deceived humanity many times before when they created the idea of God, and then they deceived humanity again by convincing people, especially people who believe in religions and so on, and they put it in the holy books, blah, 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 and all of this, that even genies are the creation of what is so-called God. So for them, they are escaping the responsibility as well. They created the idea of God, and they told people that they were created by God like us, human being. So anything happens, genies cannot do anything. They are like us. It's God who does this and that, blah, blah, blah. And above all of this, another deception, and another time they deceive humanity and people. And they tell the people from this organization and people who believe they control genies and so on, that genies are slaves. That, these people, they have the power over genies, that they can summon the genies and make them do this and that, blah, 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 and all of this. Not only this, the story about King Solomon, who has a ring or whatever, that can control genies and do whatever, and he was the master of the world using the genies, blah, 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 and he has the power of, humanity and the genies, blah, 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 and all of this. All of this bullshit. Genies are the masters who are pretending to be the slaves, and they are allowing people to believe otherwise. As simple as that. I am trying to open the eyes of people everywhere in the world for these facts. And even if people don't believe it, just know it. Just know the reality. Know the truth and the reality. As for anyone who's putting mental, doubt around my mental capacity, first of all, I have been put to the maximum aggravation, and they provoked me to, I don't know what, I really was, I mean, I don't know how to explain this. And still, I always find a way to distract myself. But what actually protects me from being a victim of, anger or whatever, that I love people. I don't like to see people getting hurt. And I would never harm anyone, no matter what. The only time that I would lay my hand on someone would be 100% immediate self-defense. And there is no other option to deal with it apart from physically to self-defense me, to myself. I mean, even when I was in, by the way, people who don't know this is, you hear this because this is a reality. I'm not making this up. When I was in England, I was going to get killed so many times. Physically. I mean, 2 times amongst many times with a knife. One put a big knife, for the kebab, blah, blah, blah. And it's a sharp, like a razor blade. And he put it on me like this. And he was going to pull. And I called the police afterwards and blah, blah, blah. And the police came to look after him, to look for him, blah, 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 and all of this. And just by putting the knife here, he cut in my neck, just a small cut. And I was bleeding. Another time I was delivering pizza and the guy pretended to be, drunk. And he tried to put a deboning knife in my head 3 times. And I swayed and, protected myself. And I went to the car and he came after me, and I brought the cable for the jump start, and I fended him off by, we used it like a whip. But I didn't harm him. I could have harmed him if I wanted to. But I didn't. I was just defending myself. And this is me. So why people now they are trying to prove it. Look, the guy, it has been like this for so long, but they put me in a mental health hospital. For what? Based on what? Based on bullshit written by the prison officers in England. You see, there are so many reasons why I would never go back to England. There is no justice in England, and they can do to you whatever they want. I have no trust in anyone. I mean, any association in England, I have no trust in it, including the court. So, for me, anyone who's trying to put doubts around my mental capacity, get to know the details. Don't take just the surface. And even if you don't believe what I say about magic and this organization and genies and so on, listen to all the details before you judge and before you jump to conclusion. And this is what I am trying to do, to have the chance to give everyone in the world all the information I have. So they know, this is a reality. not someone's crazy talking bullshit and so on. And all what I can say is, I have been fighting for years, for decades, even since I was in the country where I was born. Why do you think I escaped the country where I was born? Why do you think I left England? Why do you think I left Germany? Why do you think I'm going to leave the Basque country? They are not leaving me anyway. Every place I go, the same. Here in the Basque country, they have been doing to me unbelievable stuff as well. I mean, I just told you about a couple of things that, they escalated it directly, the 2 days. They have been dosing me with drugs every single day, especially the weekend. But yesterday, it was unbelievable because they targeted maybe the prostate or the muscle that is, responsible for weeing, because I'm not gonna, hide this or whatever. I didn't drink any beer last night, although I bought 2 beers last night and I bought 2 beers today, but I'm going to drink 2 today and 2 tomorrow. But last night I was supposed to drink a couple of beers, but I didn't. And they actually put drugs in my food and drinks to make it look like that I lost it because of the drinks and weed myself. And I actually didn't drink much water, just the tea and blah blah blah. And I weed before I went to go to sleep. And after fighting the insects and all of this, and I fell asleep and so on. And I woke up after it was too late. These are the trousers that I was wearing last night, and luckily I did not wee all over the bed in the van. I actually just wet the pants, and I woke up when I wet the pants. But I could feel it. I could feel it. Normally, I don't know how to explain this, but normally, even no matter how much I drink, whether I drink lots of water and Pepsi and all of this. And sometimes I drink a lot, especially on a weekend or whatever, before, like drinking beer and Pepsi and water and tea and blah, 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 lots of them. And I go to sleep without going to toilet. And then I wake up every time. Whenever I need to go to the toilet, I wake up and go to the toilet. No matter if it's winter, no matter how much sleepy I am, I wake up. But last night, because of the drugs they put in my food and drink, and I felt it. It was weird. It's not just, to kill my erection, but I felt it. I didn't have control there. And I woke up. That was, like, thankfully I woke up. I didn't wee on the bed and so on. It was just in my trousers. And I am not ashamed of saying so, because this is my first time. This is the first time to happen to me. And I know it's because of the drugs they gave me. And they gave me drugs to do this in particular because I felt it last night. I felt it. I had no control. It was like dead. I didn't even have an erection or whatever, but I didn't feel it. I didn't have control over it because of the drugs they gave me. And the insects and all of this. You see, they have been escalating things and all of this. And I don't know what to say. These people do not deserve to live with people, no matter what. For some authorities to give themselves the green light, even if they say, oh, we're going to test him. You cannot do this to people. Who gave you the right to do this? You must go to prison. Whoever you are, it doesn't matter. You must go to prison. And if you're too powerful to go to prison, you must die. You cannot live with people. People like you must go to prison for life. And you should never have any authorities to do this to people. This is unbelievable. But what can I say? When I came here to apply for asylum in Spain and San Sebastian in particular, because it's close to the water and close to France, I didn't know that they were going to allow all of this to happen. And I know for sure, the authorities here in San Sebastian and the Basque country, they know everything about what is being done and what is going on and what is happening. And again, They are allowing it. And this is big reason why I'm leaving the Basque country completely. And I will never, ever live here, ever. Uh, uh, a place, a country or government that allow what is being done to me here to be done, regardless. If they come in the end and say, oh, it was done deliberately to clear your side. We were trying to show that you're normal or whatever, blah, blah, blah. And all. It doesn't make any difference. There are so many ways to see if someone normal or not, to see if someone is saying the truth or not, to see if someone is genuine or not. But you made it so complicated, and you gave yourself the right to use these unorthodox ways and to give yourself the audacity and the green light to do whatever you want. So in other words, you gave yourself all the false reasons or all the reasons to use and abuse and torture me even more and again. And in the end, you're claiming, oh, we're trying to clear her side. I don't know what else to say apart from the fact that this is a very big unsettled business. And I'm just one person. I'm helpless, hopeless. I have no authority or power. Otherwise, that's what I would sentence everyone participated in everything that was done to me, regardless of what they are claiming. You must go to prison, and most of you must go to prison for life. You don't come out of prison but a dead body. And some of you, they must go to prison accordingly, based on what you have participated in and committed and so on against me. And if you're too powerful and you're refusing to pay the price or be responsible for what you did and go to prison, then you must die. It's not just that you committed all of these crimes against me, but you're refusing to take responsibility and pay the price and be legally punished. And this is enough reason that you must die, because you will do it again and again and again, because you're getting away with it. Your authority is allowing you to get away with it. And this is another reason why I must expose this organization, because they are on the top. They are playing everyone underneath. The world for them is a stage, is a play, is a movie they are directing, and they have the right to do whatever they want with the characters. Who dies? Who doesn't? Who becomes this? Who becomes that? It's unbelievable. And that's why they must be exposed. Anyway, I think I said enough in this video. And all what I am going to be saying now before I end this video is, what was done to me can never be forgiven and can never be forgotten. And I will never forgive and I will never forget. And everyone participated in everything that was done to me. They must go to prison or die. As simple as that. And if I have the power, I will sentence every one of you to this, to go to prison accordingly and legally punished for what you have committed against me and my family, or die. If you're too powerful to be legally punished, you must die. As simple as that. There is no third option for you. And I will never forgive, and I will never forget. And also, I will never give up claiming the money that was invested for my father and me. Not just my compensations. And it is not anyone's decision to decide what is enough for me and what is not. What's mine is mine. Any money that was invested for my father and me is my father's and mine. Not yours, not anyone else, not any country. This money was invested for a reason, for what they did to my father. And this money grew big. And any investments and any money it was made from this compensation or this money they dedicated from my father for what they did to him is my father's money, no matter how big it is. And any money that was invested for me and grew big is my money, no matter how big it is. As simple as that. And no one has the right to say anything about this money in terms of controlling it or saying what's enough and what's not enough. When someone owns something, it's theirs. As simple as that. You cannot say, this is enough for them, or too much, or not enough, blah, blah, and so on. It's theirs. As simple as that. So my money is my money. My father's money is my father's money. And any investments that was done for my father and me, is ours, not anyone else's. As simple as that. And of course, add to all of this my compensations for everything that was done to me. And I promise you, if anyone brings evidences, even for one thing that was done to me in the UK, I will get easily a few million pounds sterling, just one thing you did to me. Imagine everything you did to me. And I will never stop exposing you and telling the whole world what you did to me, regardless of what the people will think, as long as I give all the information I have to these people. And any other accusations or reasons you're giving to yourself as authorities to keep me under your authorities is all nothing but all nuclear lies. Do you hear me? All nuclear lies. Thank you very much for watching.